to the Unleash Success Podcast, where we break down the secrets of success to give you real tools and strategies that get real results. And now, here's your host, Corpodian.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Unleash Success Show. This is your host, Corpodian. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing our usual interview where we break down the secrets of success to give you guys some real tools and strategies, I wanted to break down the secrets and components to success in accomplishing our goals. Right around this time, about 6 weeks after January 1st, is where people start to fade off their goals. They start to give up on their New Year's resolutions. And to be honest, guys, I'm guilty of this as well. I had set some audacious goals in the beginning of the year. I want to jump back on stage and compete in men's physique. I want to build a business. I want to keep working and crushing this podcast and doing amazing things. And at the same time, I'm also writing a book. And I've been doing pretty well in a lot of different areas of life. But with writing a book, man, it has been tough to stay on track. And I'm going to be honest, I have not been the best with staying on track. I've missed some personal deadlines that I've set. I've missed some other deadlines that would have been really important. And I'm sitting there wondering why I haven't worked harder. And you could blame it on I don't have enough time, which people often do. And yeah, sure, I was saying that, definitely. But the truth is, if we're really honest with ourselves, we never have any time for anything else in life. Life is so busy as it is, but we can always make time. We can always find time if we choose to find time. For me, being able to go to the gym in the morning is not easy. It requires often sleeping an hour less and getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym. And people go, well, Corey, why do you do that? And I say it's because it's the only time I'm going to go. By the time I get home at 6, 7 o'clock at night, I'm too tired. Too much stuff can happen in the day to distract me from going to the gym, so I just don't go. If I don't go in the morning, I typically don't go, so I force myself to go in the morning. And sometimes that means missing an hour of sleep. Right now even, the recording of this podcast is being done after midnight. And, a lot of times I'll spend hours at the computer just editing podcasts, reviewing them, going over different questions, doing research on my guests, well into, 1 or 2 in the morning. And that's a sacrifice. It's, I've got to lose out on some sleep. But something I haven't said in a while, but it really rings true, especially right now, is the simple fact that my dreams are worth more than my sleep. Now, I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I've got big dreams and I don't want to spend my entire life sleeping. So I sacrifice a little bit of it. Now, I'm not saying you can't sleep 8 hours a night, but when you're busy and you're not finding time, you got to make time. And if that means sleeping an hour less or even 2, that's what we got to do. So I look back and I think, man, what else can I do to really accomplish my goals? What else can we all do? And the first step to any goal setting is to really define what you want. What is the goal that you want? A lot of times people say, I just want to make more money, or I want to lose weight, but they're not very clear on their goal. And without clarity, you can't find out where you're trying to go. Goal setting, I often describe a lot like a GPS system. You've got to set the destination. If you set the destination and you're coming from Florida on the East Coast and you say, I want to go to California, you could end up in San Francisco or San Diego. That's an 8-hour difference. So if you're not clear on what you want, you could end up anywhere. If you want to make more money, how much more? If you want to lose weight, how much weight? And especially if losing weight, some people say, I want to lose weight. Could be water weight, could be fat, could be muscle. How much fat do you want to lose? How are you going to measure it? What are you going to measure? Once you get really clear on what you want, you got to understand why you want it. Because when you think about giving up, people often say, remember why you started. What is your motivation? What motivates you to act? Because guess what? If you're not motivated, you will fail. Because failure is part of the path of success. In fact, it's almost one of the requirements to success. I have failed so many times in my life, but the only way I'm able to overcome those failures is through training my brain and remembering why it's important to me, why I'm so motivated to do it. Because if it's not important to you in the beginning, when the going gets tough, you're not going to get going. You're going to stay there. But if you are so empowered by what your goal is that you can actually feel the energy building just by remembering why you started, you're going to keep going. You're going to have that fire burn inside you. But again, we still fail. Why? Why do we fail? A lot of people say we fail because we didn't have the right strategy. And I'll say, you know what? Sometimes you're absolutely right. On that GPS system, if you took a wrong route, you might fail. If you went east and you should have gone west, you might fail. But what does a GPS system do if you take a wrong turn? It reroutes you. So if you fail, how do you look at it? This ties in a lot about what I talk when I talk about emotional fitness. You see, we can only control us. We can only control our actions. We can't focus on what we can't control because ultimately we can never change it. So we focus on what we can control. And what I can control is the perception I have of failure, because I know failure is going to happen. I know things outside of my control are going to try and stop me from accomplishing my goals. Whether on purpose or on accident, it doesn't matter. What matters is how I perceive that failure. Do I look at that failure as an end or a beginning? Do I look at that failure as I am not good enough, or do I look at it as a learning experience? Is there some way that I can learn from this failure so I can grow and become a better person? Is there some way that this failure can positively impact my life? You know, I don't view failure as failure anymore. I used to. Now I simply ask myself, what can I learn from this? Because I know I'm human just like you, and I'm going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. But when I realize that mistake, instead of getting down on myself, instead of thinking I'm not good enough, instead of thinking that I'm just not meant to accomplish this goal, I'm not meant to make that much money, I'm not meant to be in this amazing relationship, I'm not meant to have the body of my dreams, I say no. What can I learn from this? I failed, so what? Let me move on. Let me learn from this and become better next time so I don't make the same mistake, so I don't have the same failure. And now that failure becomes part of my success. So to summarize that, the first thing we do is set a very clear goal. The second thing we do is make sure that these goals inspire us, that they empower us, that the why behind them will motivate us when the going gets tough. The third thing we do is make time. Because as life gets busy, as we get older, things only get more complicated. We will never find the time. We simply have to make the time. And number 4 is how you view failure. Do you view failure as an end or a beginning? And if you can view it as a beginning, as a learning experience, failures are no longer failures, but simply a part of your success. Now, number 5 is how to stay motivated in the face of failure. How to stay motivated when, you know what? It's been months and you still haven't accomplished your goal. Or maybe it's been 6 weeks and you're just bored and you're not inspired. What do you do to stay focused on your goals? And I'm going to tell you something that you're probably not going to want to hear. I'm going to tell you something that I use every single day that drives the shit out of me when I'm trying to accomplish my goals. And that is the ability to use pain as a motivating force to accomplish your goals. What does that mean? I know what you're thinking. I do not want to be in pain. In fact, nobody wants to be in pain. This is a survival mechanism that is designed to help us survive, but it unfortunately prohibits us from really being truly successful. There's a thing called the pain-pleasure principle, and in fact, our bodies really only respond to two primary types of stimuli, pain and pleasure. I'm starving to death, I have pain, I need to move away from that, I need food. I'm full in my stomach, now I no longer have that pain, I have pleasure, I'm going to live. What I use is the pain of not accomplishing my goals. What I use is the pain of not feeling good enough, not working hard enough, not being present enough, not doing what I said I would do, because I'm a man of my word. And when I commit to something, that means something to me. And I'll never give up on my goals when I commit to it. That pain drives me far more than any pleasure of accomplishing a goal. I talk to a lot of people in the millennial generation. I myself am a millennial. I was recently on at the USC Global Innovation Conference. I was on the millennial panel talking with other millennials, two millennials and two other people who are hiring millennials about getting millennials motivated. And I got to tell you this right now. Everybody talks about the good. I want to be able to give back to the world. I want to be able to contribute. I want to be able to save the whales, save the beach, provide clean water, whatever it is. I applaud you. I think you should have an amazing, positive effect on the world. I think you should try to contribute. I think you should do something that helps the world in some way, whatever it is. But if that doesn't drive you to work your ass off, you need some pain. It's the old saying of use the carrot, but if you have to, use the stick. You got to use it on yourself. Guys, we are a product of evolution. You know, Pavlov's dog was ring a bell, put some food in front of the dog, and Pavlov found that the dog started to salivate even when there was no food involved because it trained its mind to react. We are the same. We will move very strongly away from pain. In fact, I was in another interview where we talked about how 70% of our receptors roughly are accustomed to pain, that we're more likely to feel pain. And because of that, pain is a bigger driving force than pleasure. So use it. Use the pain to motivate you, but not the pain of failure. Maybe that is. Maybe pain of past failure motivates you, but also too the pain of future failure. Visualization is a powerful technique in this. So that's how I stay motivated, is I think about what might happen if I don't accomplish my goals. I think about what's going to happen to me? Who's going to miss out on this? Why is it so important? And if I don't accomplish it, what will be the negative side effects? And I make it worse. I compound it. I make it 2 or 3 times as worse sounding because you know what? It works. A lot of times people will do these amazing things, set amazing goals in spite of some sort of monumental failure. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team and became the greatest player in NBA history. How do you think he used that experience in high school to drive him? Do you think it was the pleasure of scoring points that helped drive him to become the best NBA player ever? No, it was the pain of being cut. It was the pain of saying, hey, you know what? You are not good enough. And that pain drove him to be one of the hardest working players in history and arguably one of the best. So guys, use the pain. Use the pleasure too, because honestly, let's be real. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, it won't be worth it anyways. Trust me, I know. I've spent years of my life pursuing goals that really I didn't like in the first place, but I was never honest with myself. I was too, and it sucks to say, but I was too driven by money. And so I went after all these things when I was younger to try and earn a ton of money because I thought that's what was going to make me happy, and it wasn't. And eventually, when I realized that, all I had was pain. So you got to have pleasure. You got to want the goal. You got to know why it inspires you, just like in step 2. But in step 5, use the carrot and the stick. Number 6, reverse engineer your goals. What does that mean? That means when you set a goal, say you have a 12-month goal, and that 12-month goal is to lose 30 pounds. Well, if you have a strategy that says, I need to lose 30 pounds in 12 months, that might seem overwhelming to you. What do? What you do is you reverse engineer. So you say, if I need to be down 30 pounds and I'm 200 pounds right now, and I need to be at 170 in month 12, by month 11, I really need to be down to like 173. By month 10, I need to be down to 176. By month 9, I need to be 180. And basically, you write down specific actions that you're going to take in those final months to get to your goal. You know, it's a lot easier when you break it down month by month as opposed to looking at the entire year. You're able to see and itemize exactly what you need to do to lose a couple pounds. You know, what's funny is that people always say, oh my God, I've been on this diet for 2 weeks and I haven't lost anything more than 3 pounds. I'm like, yeah, but how long did it take you to gain the 3 pounds? You know, people often spend 2 to 3 years gaining 20 pounds and then expect to lose it in 2 weeks. But when you look at it over the course of a year and you reverse engineer it, now you can see that, you know, losing 3 pounds a month, that's progress. In fact, if you lost 3 pounds in a month, every month, you wouldn't just accomplish your goal of losing 30 pounds in a year. You would do it in 10 months. And you can reverse engineer everything from losing weight to building a business to increasing your sales. You know, if you want to increase your sales, you're going to have to make more sales calls. How many more? Write it down. You know, you're going to have to work some more hours. How many more hours are you willing to work? Write it down. Now, this is a good way to start taking action, to set yourself up on a trajectory, to be able to see if I accomplish all the goals in month 1, then I should be able to accomplish all the goals in month 2, and eventually I'll make it to month 12 and accomplish my final goal. The biggest thing, and this is number 7, is you've got to hustle. But you got to be patient too. Man, life is confusing, isn't it? Sometimes there's just this dichotomy to life where two things, seemingly contradictory, have to coexist. And what do I mean by that? God, I'm sorry, I'm getting so philosophical over here. It's getting late, but I'm all about the hustle and the patience. You see, you have got to want your goals so bad that you hustle your ass off day in and day out. That every single moment you get, every single breath of life you are able to take, you work towards that goal. That's hustle. You work harder, you work smarter, and you work longer than everybody else because you want your goals. You want to be successful so bad, nothing can stop you. That's the hustle. Now, what do I mean by patience? And why do those two go together? Because there have been times in my life where I have hustled day in, day out, 10, 12, 14-hour days for 7 days a week, 14 days in a row, 21 days in a row. In fact, I've done it in so many different areas of life that they all tend to blend together, and I still don't accomplish my goal. In fact, when I decided I want to be an orthodontist, I was just in high school. And I spent 10 years after high school studying to be an orthodontist before I ever got any reward from all of my effort. Talk about patience. I didn't think I was a very patient person, but man, I'm either stupid or patient. I'm not really sure still, but I waited 10 whole years for that reward. You know, when I was working out, I spent 3 months, day in, day out, hustling, busting my ass to get in the best shape of my life. After 4 weeks, I barely noticed a difference. But after 8 weeks, man, I really started to notice a difference. And then after 12 weeks, not only did I notice a difference, but everybody around me did. If I had given up after 4 weeks, if it was just a New Year's resolution that wasn't that important, I wouldn't have had the patience to follow through and see the reward of my work. Patience is this lifelong lesson. But I'm not saying nonchalantly walk through life. I'm saying hustle, work hard, spend as much time as you can and are willing to put towards your goals, but realize that sometimes you've got to have patience because things do take time. Now, I'm going to contradict that in and of itself and say, you got to be flexible in your approach. Flexibility is key. You can't keep trying the same thing. I don't care if you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again and you're getting the same result. That's the definition of insanity. So change your approach. Realize that whatever you're doing is not working and change it. Be flexible in your goals. And in fact, when we talk about patience, flexibility goes hand in hand. And that was number 8. But what's going to contradict that is number 9. And I'm going to ask you to take whatever your 12-month goal is and imagine you had a gun to your head. And that gun said, you have 1 month to live. How would you accomplish this goal? How would you get resourceful? It is amazing the way the mind works when pressured to accomplish something in a short period of time. In fact, we've all experienced this, haven't we? In school, when you have an essay due and you write the essay, you're given the essay, maybe it's a midterm essay, you're given the essay weeks in advance. Do you do it weeks in advance? No, most of us procrastinate. And all of a sudden, we've got 6 hours before it's due, we pull an all-nighter and boom, we get a B. Hey, not bad. In fact, pretty happy with it. How would you do something if you only had that same 6 hours? If you only had a month to live? Because that's the difference. That'll motivate the hell out of you. That'll shift you. And that'll also expand your mind to think differently. Because that's what we really need. We need to think outside the box. If you want to be able to take something and accomplish it 10 times as fast, the same thinking that got you there is not going to get you 10 times further. We all know that to be true. So why do we keep planning with the same type of style of thinking? Why don't we expand our mind? And the reason is because it feels complex. And that's what I'm going to bring to you is number 10. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Guys, it's the KISS principle. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Let's just keep things simple, guys. For me, that's usually saying, hey, you know what? I've got this huge goal. It's overwhelming, but I know I've got 3 things that if I do today, they're going to greatly impact me and be able to get towards my goal faster. They're going to build towards that common goal. In fact, I call this a power action list. You guys may have heard me talk about this before. It is so important, especially on Mondays when, Monday. I hate Mondays. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this, whatever it is. I wake up kind of lackadaisical and I say, this is not me. But I'm the guy that the minute I say that, I hate it. I hate it so much and I want to shift it. I want to change it. So what do? I change my body. I change my state and I focus on something else. How do I focus on something else? I ask myself, what are 3 things? And actually I can do anywhere from 3 to 5, no more than 5, but 3 things is usually the sweet spot. What are 3 things, 3 actions I can take right now that are going to give me the biggest result and help me accomplish my goal for the week. That could be sitting down and writing an email. That could be sitting down and editing a chapter of my book. That could be, any number of different things that you need to do. That could be going to the gym and working out, but go do it. It feels so good to write down those 3 things and then knock them out. And you know what? Don't go to bed until they're done. Just finish them. I think that is a huge component, is people make things so overly complicated. Keep it simple and stupid, and that'll make things easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't write down a to-do list of 150 different things. Keep it simple, 3 to 5 tasks, and that'll be it. And I'm going to give you guys a bonus, number 11, for those of you that were willing to stay with me for this 25 minutes. And that bonus is this. Find a mentor. If there's been a common thread in all of these interviews thus far, it's that these guys either have a coach or a mentor or a friend that are honest with them. Guess what? If you are in your head, self-analyzing, self-doubting, questioning yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. Start talking to your friends. Hire a mentor, hire a coach, whatever you need. Go do it. Don't let something outside of you stop you from accomplishing your goals. Don't let something inside of you stop you from accomplishing your goals. Get the help you need. And I can't tell you, I cannot stress enough how much having a mentor in life has helped me. And I've had mentors all my life as I realize it. And whether it's been in school or coaches or business, but they have dramatically changed the way that I look at life, the way I perceive myself, the way I perceive situations. And that shift is priceless. The ability to see something different, because guess what? They're going to see things differently because they're not you. They don't have the same viewpoint. They don't have the same past experiences. And because of that, they can offer something new. And if you're open, if you're willing to learn, it will dramatically help you improve. And in the case of accomplishing your goals, I look for mentors who have done what I want to do. And maybe not exactly in my space, but I just look for them. So go back to your goals. Don't give up on them. Revisit them. Find a mentor to help you accelerate your learning, accelerate your goal accomplishing. If you guys need some help, email me at Corey, Corey, at unleashsuccess.com, and I'll respond to you personally. Listen, I'm here to help you guys any way I can. If I can't help you, maybe I know someone who can. Maybe I can give you a referral to find someone who can mentor you, to really help you step your game up. Listen, in life, the time is going to pass whether we have goals or not. So we might as well make it interesting and go set some goals and dream big. Don't dream small. The bigger we dream, the more we do. The more we do, the more we contribute to this world, and the more fun we have, the more passion life is filled with, and the more exciting it is. I personally will never stop setting goals. I love setting goals. I also love accomplishing goals. And I really encourage you to not give up on your goals, to revisit your New Year's resolutions and say, what went wrong? What can I learn? How can I prevent failure in the future? What am I going to do if failure happens? How can I reverse engineer this? If I had a gun to my head right now and I only had 1 month to do this, how would I do it? Am I going to hustle, but also be patient? Will I be flexible in my approach? And keep it simple, guys. Listen, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Never let anybody limit you. And remember that I'm here for you guys if you need it. So get ready to unleash success in you. If you guys enjoyed the show and learned something of value, the one ask that we have is please go subscribe. If you'd like to leave us a 5-star rating and review, that definitely helps us get our message out there.
because each week I'm going to interview amazing people, and I want to be able to give you more and more tools and strategies that get you real results. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook or Instagram at Corey Corpodian, or just visit the website at unleashsuccess.com. Remember, knowing is not enough. Knowledge alone is not power. Action is. Because action is the only way to get the results you want in life and truly live the life of your dreams. So go take some action, subscribe to the podcast, and get ready to unleash success in you.